Recording? I am recording. All right, welcome to our second video in the series. In that first video, we went over what Schoology looks like. In this video, we'll be going over what I covered that first week, the syllabus and the agenda. So the agenda for the first week, by the way, to get it, you just click here, and this will pop up. You can either view the PDF directly or just look through the window that is released. So in the agenda, we went over some introductions. My name is Adib Azad. Welcome, welcome. Did an icebreaker, but mostly we went over the syllabus. And so on our main stream, go ahead and click the syllabus. It'll open up a new page. I alt-clicked, but you'd get to this page. We're going to go ahead and view this, and we're going to just go through the syllabus as we did on that first day. I'm doing this mostly because, some people are in and out, maybe I'll have a few transfers, whatever the case may be, it is a good idea overall to have a record. So, chemistry in the Earth system 2020, fall. Everything's kind of in shift, so if things change around, it is what it is there. Now, my name is Mr. Azad. I'm your instructor. Welcome, welcome, yet again. My email will be at adibsami.azad@lusd.net. Now, overall, this course is your fairly standard chemistry course, but as you know, based on the title, there will be earth science involved. In this course, we'll be using the NGSS standards to kind of guide ourselves here. In this course, we'll also be utilizing a mastery learning grading system, different from what you might have traditionally been given, that 0 to 100 scale. This mastery learning system is based on the completion of several learning targets. So what are those learning targets? Well, there are 10 of them. The first 4 are based in our first unit, the next 3, unit 2, and the last 3, unit 3. Ideally, we will be able to complete all of them as the semester goes on, but if we don't, we don't. There's always next semester. Now, the first, I'm just going to go over our first 4 units, first 4 learning targets. We can develop models to show the release or absorption of energy in a chemical reaction and how it depends on the changes in bond energy. So first learning target. Second one, we can develop and use models to show that energy on a large scale is a combination of energy from the motion and position of smaller particles. You could plan and perform an investigation to gather the evidence, which is going to be used to compare the structure of substances and the strength of the electrical forces in their particles. And finally, the last thing we're going to do in this unit, we're going to evaluate solutions to complex real-world problems based on criteria, trade-offs, and limits. As you can see, each of these correspond to an actual standard that the NGSS provides, and we'll be meeting them as we go on. Just keep the screen here for a second, pause it. You can read through the other learning targets if you don't have access to the syllabus. Finally, we're here with the course logistics and schedule. There is a addendum here that I want to add on after I go through this. We will be meeting for Zoom sessions Monday through Friday. Each Monday or Sunday, an agenda for the week will be posted on Schoology. It will be titled Agenda Week, whatever. Included in the agenda will be the assignments and their due dates. We'll get to that in a second. On Fridays, I will have office hour from 2:15. No, on Monday through Thursday, I will have office hours from 2:15 to 3:15. Friday is a special schedule. We'll have office hours from, I believe, 12:45 to 1:35, about 40 minutes, I think. For most of that day, though, we will be attending class. This part here, Fridays will be for office hours, 9 to 2. That is based on a previous assumption. So like I say, right here, may be subject to change based on ongoing events. Now, for that Monday to Thursday schedule, Monday and Wednesday will be odd classes. Tuesday and Thursday will be even. Overall, they follow the same schedule, 9 to 9:50, 9:55 to 10:45, 10:55 to 11:25. We have a break for lunch, and then we're back at 11:55 to 12:25, 12:30 to 1:20, 1:25 to 2:15. Of course, your advisories are basically your homeroom classes, and you only have one per day. All right, to reach me through my email. I do check that pretty much every day aside from weekends. My email is adibsami.azad@lausd.net. You can reach me through Remind, or you can post a message on Schoology. Either one of those would work. Remind is preferred because I do have my phone on me pretty much all the time. For period one, we have a co-teacher, Miss Lamia Ali, and her email is given on the screen, lamia.ali1@lausd.net. That is for period one only. If you're not in period one, you could, message her or email her, but she most likely will be like a new phone, who dis? So don't do that. Grades and assignments will be posted and collected on Schoology. What I mean by that is assignments will be posted on Schoology, collected will be through your evidence notebook. We'll get to that in the next video. Grades, however, will be posted on your Schoology. Now, the Remind codes for the given classes are off to our right over here. They're basically at Azad and then whatever period you're in. So if you're in period one, the Remind code is at Azad 1. If you're in period 5, the Remind code is at Azad 5, so on and so forth. The pattern holds straight through. Now, the materials for this course are pretty standard. If you have a computer, you're going to need internet access. You're going to need Google Drive access and pretty much everything else I'll be giving to you. Our textbook is online, less. And most of the time, I'll just be giving you a PDF version of that. So that's pretty much what we're going to need for our materials. Now, attendance. LASD is being very generous with their attendance. You must at least check in once in the day to be counted for that day. That means any message, any check-in, or preferably a, coming into the Zoom live class and, participating, getting through your work, that kind of dealio. A check-in message will suffice, but you will lose out on the content of that day if that's the only thing you do. And you will have to schedule an office hour meeting with me so I can catch you up or watch one of these videos. So, I believe parent contact will also count towards attendance, but if for whatever reason you don't do any of that stuff, you don't check in, your parent doesn't call in for you, absences have a procedure to them. If you're absent without any check-in during the week, expect a phone call home or an email sent out to your parent/guardian. If you know you're going to be absent prior, I will try to catch you up as best as I can, so you will be missing nothing while you're out. If you are unexpectedly absent, it is your job to contact me so I can catch you up. I have 245 students. I cannot really make time unless you help me make time for you. So help me help you by reaching out to me and letting me catch you up in office hour time. Right. So during those Zoom live sessions, there are a few etiquette things. Try to use headphones to cut back on those background noises. I know most of you guys are at home. Your parents and siblings are probably at home, so it gets kind of loud. Maybe the dog is barking. Try to use headphones to cut back on those background noises. Try to set a picture of yourself as your profile picture, and don't make your picture inappropriate, or don't have some random profile picture that is inappropriate. I don't really see you guys this year, and that profile picture will probably be the only way I get to attach a name to a face. If your video is on, and most of the time I would prefer it on, but bandwidth is a thing. If your video is on, please be wearing proper attire while we're attending class. That means wearing a shirt. I had a lot of students last semester who just decided to not wear shirts. All guys, and I understand it was hot and you wanted to be comfortable in your own home, but it's a professional setting. Come on, wear a shirt. So, in these Zoom classes, there are typically 30 to 40 students, so please mute your audio. And if you have a question, raise your hand, unmute yourself, or just throw it in the chat. Failure to do some of this stuff may just result in you getting kicked, and I'm sorry, been warned at this point. Okay, grading policies. The notes here. Grading policies. Like I said in the beginning of this syllabus review, I've switched over from a traditional 0 to 100 scale and moved over to a mastery grading policy. So What this means is that grades are based on the mastery of those learning targets that I talked about at the beginning. Assignments, lab, notes, and assessments are all centered around those learning targets. So, uh, for example, if you have 3 assignments and a quiz, and you do really well on that quiz, your grade is based on that thing for the quiz, right? It's based on your most recent score. While the average of your scores does play a role, your most recent score uh, does play a greater role. I believe the term is median. I'll be trying to take the median of your grade, and that'll be what your grade is going to be based on. All your work that we do in this year will be organized in an evidence notebook that I'll get to in the next video. So stay tuned for that. All assignments, all labs, all notes will be put into this notebook. It is your singular document for each unit. Each unit will each unit will have an evidence notebook to go along with it. Light work. Now, in a mastery system, which is based off of the idea that, you can retake tests, you can do things over and over again, such as like in the DMV, right? If the DMV fails you, they don't tell you can't ever drive again. They tell you come back, study up, and retake the test. That's what the mastery system is based off of. So in the real world, though, there are such things as deadlines, right? Your boss is going to need a deadline at some point. In this case, I'm acting as your boss. Assignments that are given out in, let's say, Monday of one week, we do the Friday the next week, right? So if I give you an assignment this Monday, it would be due next Friday. So you'll have essentially 2 weeks to complete an assignment. After that, you may turn it in, but it does count against your mastery of that learning target because it's telling me you require more time than expected. So the testing policy. Uh, Traditionally, there are tests that are really big and they're done at the end of a unit. I'm not doing that this year. There'll be slightly larger tests at the end of a unit, but there will be more frequent tests instead of one massive test at the end. Those frequent, smaller tests will let me judge where you're at and how your learning's coming along. Think of them as small little quizzes from anywhere from like 7 to like 15 questions. The largest test will be like 15 to like 20 questions. All right, we will be doing tests in those live classes, so I could, time you guys, make sure you guys are all doing it at a proper timing. Testing is a big thing, so it's good to be in the right scenario, right state of mind. So there are retakes of assessments. However, that first retake is done in class, which means the second retake will not be done in class. You're going to need to organize that between me and myself. I might have you do between you and myself. I might have you do some remedial work beforehand in order to take that test, but suffice to say, you will be able to retake tests. Now, here's my grading rubric. There's a scale from 1 to 5, kind of like elementary school with their 1 to 4 scale. A score of 1 means you haven't attempted it, so you haven't learned it, or you haven't turned it in. Score of 2 is beginning. Have some major misconceptions, but you attempted it. Competent, you have some misconceptions, but overall, you're where you need to be. Proficient, you don't really make errors, and the few there are, they're understandable. 5 means you have reached mastery of that assignment, target, whatever, and at that point, you're basically me. So the way this grading scale works will be at the end of the year. I'm going to go through all the learning targets we have talked about, and if you have at least 5 in half of them, and 4s in the rest, you're going to get an A, so on and so forth. I'm going to see how well this scale works this year, but I believe this should be adequate for our needs. Like I said, this is the first year I'm starting this mastery scale, so you all have the unfortunate situation to be my guinea pigs for this year, so congratulations. Now, work habits and cooperation, very standard stuff. Turn in your work on time, pay attention to class, attend class on a daily basis. Cooperation is essentially your ability to follow etiquette, right? Follow directions. And active participation will be reflected in both work habits and cooperation grades. Academic dishonesty, it boils down to please don't cheat. If you cheat on your tests or homework, it does result in consequences because it tells me that you don't believe in yourself enough to do it with a do your assignment or test with, best effort. And so it calls in your other assignments and assessments into question, and I'm going to have to do a review of them. The most common forms of dishonesty include exact wording from other students' works or websites, like down to the font. Um, so the typical consequences can include a call home, notification to teachers, and redos of those assignments out of class, or an alternate assessment. So please don't cheat. It's degrading to both you and me. So we have gone through the syllabus. Go ahead and click this link. You'll be taken to a Google form. Fill out your name, your last name, the period, your parent/guardian name, their contact information, and their email. This is here mostly because sometimes the stuff I have on MySys is out of date or does not work. So, I put some relevant, active numbers in. At the very end of the syllabus, one last page, is our tentative schedule for the year. Our first unit should take about 3 weeks. As of this time, we have kind of jumped into investigating matter and energy, and I expect this to take another 3 weeks. So maybe end of September was when this will be done. All right, that is it for the syllabus. Make sure you turn that in. A few people already have. This is actually unnecessary because once you turn in that form, I have a list of all the names that have turned in their stuff, and the grade will be there. All right, and I believe this is it for the syllabus. In the next video, we will go over the evidence notebook. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Let's stop that recording. All right, bye-bye.